I will say at one point I did kind of have the thought bubble of, hey, do the Cardinals have to win the division to get into the postseason? I don't remember even how or what context. We were just talking about they're in first, they're 4-4, season ends today, they're in the playoffs. Okay, that's great, but is that their only path in? And that requires a deeper look at the standings that isn't just the NFC West. And if you take a look at the deeper standings, it's going to be tight, man. It's going to be if they don't win the division, it's going to be really tight for them to get in as a wild card in this conference.
I got an on-the-fly suggestion here. Lauren, are you ready to play a game with us, all three of us together, a game down the NFC? Unfortunately, Mitch isn't there, or he would be included in said game as well. Let's run down the NFC standings.
Okay.
And let's count how many legit teams there are where we feel like they're a playoff team for sure. So you got one answer, which is yes, they're legit, or wait and see, which is you kind of want to wait and see. Or you can just rule them out if you want. So we got the Lions at 6-1.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The Washington Commanders at 6-2.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait and see. Cliff Kingsbury offenses. Wait and see.
Okay.
Atlanta Falcons 5-3.
Wait and see.
Wait and see.
Wait and see. The Arizona Cardinals 4-4. We'll just kind of skip them, but we all agree kind of wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Packers 6-2.
In.
Wait and see.
Okay. Provided Jordan Love is okay. In.
Wait and see, but he does tend to rise up around Toyota Truckathon, which starts in 2 weeks, as the TikTok Lauren sent me a couple months ago did point out. The Minnesota Vikings, who just picked up a left tackle 20 minutes ago, they're 5-2.
Wait and see.
Yes.
I'll wait and see. The Eagles at 5-2.
Are you going to take a stand on anybody, or are you going to be wait and see on everybody? I'm just curious.
Eagles are 5-2.
Wait and see.
Wait and see.
Yes.
No. Okay, good.
That's called setting it up.
Wait a second.
You were Dwayne Wade. You threw.
I did. I threw the lob to you, and you slammed it home. Yes, bravo.
Everyone brace yourselves. The Chicago Bears at 4-3.
Oh, wait and see.
Wait and see.
Yeah, she didn't want to say that. Wait and see.
No, if anything, I was leaning towards no. The NFC North is just way too difficult.
I didn't realize no was an option. I thought it was either in or wait and see.
Okay, to speed this up, there are 3 4-4 teams: the Bucks, the Niners, and Seahawks. Do any of you believe that one of those 3 teams is in right now?
In? No, they're all
you feel like they are
wait-and-sees.
going to make the playoffs?
I think San Francisco will make the playoffs.
I agree.
They will make the playoffs.
Lauren?
No.
No?
No.
Wait and see on all of them?
In that group, I'm more confident in the Bucks.
Just because of the division?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda-
Even
It's
with all the
weak.
losses at wide receiver?
Don't mess
Yes.
with that take.
Because I think Baker can figure it out.
Okay.
Any Rams and Cowboys truthers out there?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
would
think
take
so.
no on both of them.
No, thank you.
So I think you guys widely agreed, Lions and Commanders. I was the skeptic on the Commanders. And then I think Packers, maybe that's a little bit of Bears bias, Chicago bias coming from Lauren. I'm more of wait and see on the Truckathon. Minnesota is just kind of like okay, great story, fantastic story. How legit is this? It seems pretty legit, but we're halfway through the year.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's happening in Philly, which you guys both said wait and see on. I still believe in the long-term core that they have there and the continuity that they have there. The whole point of my little game there is I don't think there's a ton of certainty in the NFC right now. Because if I had to bet, so I would say the Lions are in for sure. I feel like the Commanders are the second closest sure thing to me there.
Yeah.
I would say the Niners, who are 4-4 and currently 10th in the NFC, I would put them as the third most sure thing for me out of all of these teams to make the playoffs right now. Just because, again, there might be people listening who have way higher thoughts about the Packers or the Vikings or the Falcons or the Commanders. I get it, but
I think what complicates the issue for me is twofold. Okay, and I'll say this. I think what complicates the issue for me is the NFC South and the NFC North. I think that's what complicates the issue for me in terms of the game of they're in or wait and see. And here's the reason why. Every single team in the NFC South is, in my opinion, a wait and see team. One of them's going to get in, right? One of them is going to be the 3 seed or the 4 seed in the NFC. Guaranteed, write it down. Whether they're worthy of it or not, one of them's getting the spot and they're going to do it, okay? The wait and see part 2 is in the NFC North where up until a week ago, all 4 of them were playoff teams.
Yep.
All right. And if they're going to suck up all the air in the room, if they're going to suck up all the oxygen in the room when it comes to the playoff race, then it is absolutely division or bust for the Arizona Cardinals, because there's no other way they can get in. I mean, that's they take all the spots. The division champ gets 1 seed. The other 3 teams get the other 3 wild
7
card
total
spots, and that's
spots
it.
for the listeners, because again, this is kind of new stuff. It's only been around a couple of years, but yeah, it really is as simple as that.
It really is. And so to me, the battle comes down to, and I think ultimately this is what we're building to, this game against the Chicago Bears on Sunday is a big ass game for the Arizona Cardinals in that regard, right? Pardon the language, but it's a big deal to get a head-to-head win against the Chicago Bears, because there is a world where I can envision where the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears are battling tooth and nail for the last playoff spot in the NFC. Just based off of what we know, 1 team from the NFC South is going to get a spot. At least 2 teams from the NFC North are probably going to get a spot. Maybe if you don't believe in Minnesota, okay. Maybe to Lauren's point, if you don't believe in Green Bay, okay. But just based off of the records, it seems like it's going to come down to one. This is a big game against the Chicago Bears if you're going to get in some other way other than winning your division.
There are going to be a couple of matchups coming up that are really going to go into that huge game this weekend between the Seahawks and the Rams, because if the Seahawks win that game, they go to 5-4 before their bye, and then the Rams drop to 3-5. But if you flip it, Rams go to 4-4, the Seahawks go to 4-5. That's a really interesting one. And then, of course, we know the Cardinals play the Seahawks in Week 12. In Week 14, talking about those wild card potential teams again. Let's say that Minnesota starts to trail off a little bit. It wouldn't be too unrealistic to expect it. They're 5-2. I believe in a lot of things that they're doing. They've got Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago before Arizona, so it doesn't feel like that's coming anytime soon, but maybe it does. Who knows? That game becomes a lot more important to that sort of picture. Again, I'm looking, you were mentioning December, right? December, like that competitive games, that's when you really want to see everything on the line. I'm looking at the last 4 games of the year. After that second Seattle game, you've got New England, Carolina, LA, and San Francisco. If you can just be in the hunt, in the race somehow in those last 4 weeks, I think that's the key point for me. But these next 5 games, I think 3 in particular, are massive.
They are. And I think to your point, keeping an eye on not only the Bears this weekend, obviously, but the Minnesota Vikings over the next few weeks. Do they establish themselves as legit, or do they fade because they're not for real? I think those are 2 really big questions that will go a long, long way in answering whether the Cardinals are going to get a playoff spot or not, based beyond their own play.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.